Hey, how are you? Happy Monday. I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Rise or Fall to talk about Monday Night Football. The Chicago Bears head to the Pittsburgh Steelers in what should be a very under-ish kind of game. Stick around, let's go over it. Hey, and you came back. Thanks so much. Once again, I'm Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Team Riser Fall to talk about this Monday Night Football game. The Chicago Bears head to Pittsburgh to take on Ben Roethlisberger, Najee Harris, and the Steelers in what should be, as I said in the opening, kind of an underish game. The over/under right now sits at 39.5 points. It doesn't seem real for a professional football game. But before we dig in, you know the deal. Make sure you go to Team Riser Fall, like and share, subscribe. I shouldn't even have to tell any of you. It's just been unbelievably fantastic the last 9 weeks of the season, with the comments and the sharing and questioning my process and questioning my methods. I very much enjoy that. I welcome it. I'm here to kind of talk about what I do and how I do it in hopes that one of you, maybe you watching right now, will learn and go, you know what? I've been looking at it this way the whole time. And what Chris said, the light bulb pops on, and here we go. Look, I'm not the end all be all of anything. I'm still learning and growing from all of you on a daily basis. But to keep it what we're doing here this evening or this afternoon, whenever you're watching it, make sure you go to Team Rise or Fall. It's $9.99 a week, or you can get it for $29.99 a month. It's whatever premium service is right for you. Hopefully, you can figure it out. If any questions or comments, go to the Team Rise or Fall Discord. It's all free. I'm in there all day. Mitch is in there all day. All the DFS coaches and DFS pros are in the Discord all day, every day. It's a safe haven for you to share outlandish, wild ideas, and that's how we get from point A to point B. So, with that being said, let's talk about the football game. The 3-5 Chicago Bears head to the 4-3 Pittsburgh Steelers Monday night. I believe kickoff is right at about 8:15, 8:20, something along those lines. The over/under at this moment in time, it's at 39.5 points. That seems fake. I mean, that's like high school football or middle school football. It's just a bunch of people just running around trying to figure stuff out. But these are two professional football teams, two actually storied franchises, the Bears and the Steelers. That goes way back. The lineage of what they've both done goes way back. So you have to respect that. These guys are professional athletes. They're studs. They're the fastest, the biggest of the baddest here. So let's talk about Ben Roethlisberger right off the bat. And I remember in my Sunday Night Football video, I did all this talking, right? And I lose track. I didn't even give you the final score of that one. So remind me at the end of the video, just shout at your phone, shout at the computer and go, Chris, we want the final score. I promise you, Scouts Honor, I don't know what the logo is for the Boy Scouts, if that's even a thing anymore, but I will give you the final score prediction at the end here. So where were we? Ben Roethlisberger hosting the Chicago Bears, who are 19th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Big Ben, 15 grand on FanDuel, $10,600 on DraftKings. And just a quick reminder, these are all flex prices. A FanDuel, it's all the same. DraftKings, there's a difference. These are all flex prices, and we go from there. Ben Roethlisberger, around 24, maybe 25 completions, 250 yards, and a touchdown pass. As I've said, the MO of this video, everything is going to be under tonight. If it's not, I look foolish, but that's just the way all these numbers and everything is taking me. Justin Fields, the rookie, goes to Pittsburgh to be hosted by the Steelers. Pittsburgh, 10th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Fields, 14 grand on FanDuel, $10,400 on DraftKings. Now, Matt Nagy, COVID, he didn't coach last game. I don't know what he's doing this week, Monday night, but they've given the rookie, Justin Fields, the keys to the castle. He is their QB1. He doesn't have to look over his shoulder for the red rifle, Andy Dalton. But I have Justin Fields around, again, very, very under with what we got going. About 18, 19 completions in this one. I think he fails to get to 200 passing yards, but he'll have a touchdown in the air, maybe one on the ground. We shall see. Again, 8 carries, maybe 9 carries will take off for about 40, 50 yards if you're lucky here. Andy Dalton, briefly, you never know. We've seen people most recently, Sunday night, I believe, they won $500,000 with the backup quarterback. Nobody sees it coming. But in this game, I could see a case where Andy Dalton is brought into play. In what capacity, I don't know. I wish Justin Fields the best. You never want to predict an injury or bad play, but Andy Dalton, if he sees the field, 10 grand on FanDuel, only $6,000 on DraftKings. Now let's get into the meat of this video here. I promise I'll only keep you about 10 minutes here. Najee Harris, you can't go wrong with the rookie Najee Harris, hosting Chicago, who's 14th overall against opposing running backs. Najee, $16,500 on FanDuel, $12,400 on DraftKings. This kid is going to do it all tonight. Around 20 plus carries in this one, about 100 yards and a touchdown. You can set that in stone. And about 4, maybe 5 receptions for another 35 or 40 yards. Does Najee Harris find the end zone twice tonight? One on the ground, one in the air. You can on the ground, absolutely. In the air, we shall see. Let's talk about, if you don't mind, I'm going to skip through all the complimentary players in this one. Anthony McFarland, Kalen Ballage, they're all in my notes, which I will share. I'll screenshot and share the notes with you here. But this game is pretty cut and dry. It's the Bears, Pittsburgh, the normal cast of characters here. And we go. I think the edge this evening is with the tight ends, which we will get to. Let's mention Khalil Herbert briefly, another rookie in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's 5th overall against opposing running backs. This kid's been impressive. He's earned a lot of work. He's earned a role in this team, whether or not David Montgomery plays tonight. So Khalil Herbert, 12 grand on FanDuel, $8,200 on DraftKings. I have Herbs, about 13, 14 carries, 60, maybe 70 yards, and 3, maybe 4 receptions for another 15 yards here. Now, the question mark, there's a big red Q next to his name, and that's David Montgomery. He's been out the last few weeks. He injured his knee or his ankle, but by all the accounts and what we're looking like this evening, David Montgomery may play in this one, and that's fantastic. In seasonal formats, people, what do I do? At this stage of the week, I would imagine that you're not holding out hope that David Montgomery is hopefully playing tonight. We need every point we can get. David Montgomery, 13 grand on FanDuel, $8,400 on DraftKings. About, if he plays here, this is what I have him for. About 10 carries, 45, maybe 50 yards, 1, 2 receptions, and another 10 or 15 yards. Look, if David Montgomery is active tonight, absolutely. Why not put him in a lineup, in the captain spot, in an MVP spot? That's up to you. But to me, I'm playing it safe here in terms of a, like a cash game, single game lineup, and it's Najee and Khalil Herbert. If you're max entering GPPs, or if you don't have the funds and you just want to play $5, maybe $10 worth of GPP lineups, then absolutely, you're going to get David Montgomery in there. Let's talk about the wide receivers. Couple minutes left here. I'm trying to keep it on schedule here instead of talking nonsense, which I'm doing right now. Deontay Johnson, the Chicago Bears, they're 28th against opposing wide receivers. Very sweet, very green matchup for Deontay Johnson here. $13,500 on FanDuel, $11,200 on DraftKings, double-digit targets, 7-8 receptions, 80 yards, and does he catch that lone pass from Ben Roethlisberger that is a touchdown? Chase Claypool, $11,500 on FanDuel, DraftKings, 9 grand, 8-9 targets, 4-5 receptions, 60 yards. James Washington, Ray McLeod. Again, if you're playing cash games, not even on your radar. In GPPs, I would prefer James Washington, 2-3 targets. Maybe he catches 1 or 2 of those for 20, 25 yards, and that's about it. Again, this video and this game is all about the unders here. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Let's go to the Chicago receivers, which haven't been good. Allen Robinson II. Pittsburgh, again, it's a good matchup. Pittsburgh's 23rd overall against opposing wide receivers. A-Rob, 10 grand on FanDuel, $7,200 on DraftKings. A-Rob, about 6-7 targets, 4, maybe 5 receptions, 50, 60 yards. And to me personally, I'm taking the risk with this guy. It's going to happen sooner or later. So I can share screenshots of my lineups. I know that's frowned upon because FanDuel and DraftKings, they don't like that kind of behavior. But look, I'm not charging you any money for my lineups. It's just to help folks kind of get over the hump here. And what I was getting at is I have Allen Robinson in several of my MVP spots on FanDuel tonight, several of my captain spots in DraftKings tonight. It's going to come out of nowhere when nobody's expecting it. Why not Monday night, primetime game? The whole world is watching. Darnell Mooney, $10,500 on FanDuel, $6,400 on DraftKings. If you look at the prices, Darnell Mooney is $500 more expensive than Allen Robinson on FanDuel, and he's drastically cheaper on DraftKings. So to me, Allen Robinson very much in play on FanDuel, and then Mooney very much in play on DraftKings, and we go from there. Darnell Mooney, 7 targets, 4 or 5 receptions, 50, maybe 60 yards, and we move on. Marquise Godwin, Damiere Byrd. Again, Godwin, only a GPP play if you're max entering, as I said. Let's talk about tight ends. We got a minute or two left. I don't want to keep you here all day. This is where I think we can find the edge here, and it's with Pat Freiermuth, Pittsburgh Steelers rookie tight end, because there's a big red 1 next to the DVP from the Chicago Bears. They guard tight ends very well, but Pat Freiermuth is a different beast. This kid has assumed all tight end 1 responsibilities for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pat Freiermuth, only $8,000 on FanDuel, $7,000 on DraftKings. I have Pat, 5, maybe 6 targets, 4, maybe 5 receptions for 40 yards, maybe 50 yards. And to be honest with you, I believe Pat Freiermuth catches a touchdown pass from Ben Roethlisberger tonight. So as I said, I got Ben for 1, maybe 2 touchdowns. I believe Pat Freiermuth does catch a touchdown pass in this one. Let's talk about Cole Kamet, a second-year guy, kind of faded away into obscurity. He was a hot buy in hot lists, sleeper, moves over the spring and the summer, but that's done and over, baby. We're talking about the end of week 9 here. It's November 8th, and Cole Kamet, actually, this whole Chicago Bears offense has done next to nothing here. So again, Cole Kamet in for some sort of advantageous game here where we can get over on folks. Cole Kamet at Pittsburgh, they're 15th overall against opposing tight ends. Kamet, $7,500 on FanDuel, $5,800 on DraftKings. I have Kamet, 5, 6 targets, 3, maybe 4 receptions. Not a ton of yards, 35, maybe 40 yards. But again, something about tight ends on a single game slate, I gravitate to it like a moth to the flame or a moth to the light here. So to me personally, Pat Freiermuth, Cole Kamet, MVP spot and flex spot and vice versa. Pat Freiermuth, Cole Kamet, you heard it here. Kickers, Chris Boswell, Cario Santos. Of the two, I would prefer probably, let's just call it what it is. I'm working it out on the go. Probably Chris Boswell in Pittsburgh. I have them winning the game here, so I think he's in line for maybe one more field goal attempt, maybe one more extra point here, and that's it. Defenses briefly, the Steelers, they are only $5,000 on DraftKings. I have the Steelers about 3, maybe 4 sacks, an interception, a fumble recovery, and about only giving up around 14 to 17-ish points against in this one. So the Bears at Pittsburgh, no interest there. $2,600 on DraftKings, nothing crazy. 2 sacks, maybe an interception, and that's about it. So of everything that I've mentioned here, hopefully you've grabbed a pen and you can write this down. Maybe that's a catchphrase I can get in on. Grab your pen, grab a paper, and let's get to work. So personally speaking, I love the idea of Najee Harris, Khalil Herbert, both tight ends, Pat Freiermuth, Cole Kamet, and then you can mix and match with that last spot. Probably going to be Allen Robinson in my lineup. So I appreciate you for being here. Oh, and briefly, 2 betting trends that are huge for this one. The total has gone under in 6 of Chicago's last 7 games. Also, the total has gone under in 5 of the Pittsburgh Steelers' last 7 games. So that's the whole MO of the video, a game of unders, nothing crazy. And to be honest with you, if you're going to win any sort of substantial money here, you have to have a damn near perfect line. There's no room for error tonight. So I wish you the best. Go to Team Rise or Fall, like, share, subscribe. Tag me on Twitter, Detroit Beastie. Tag me in the Discord. Anybody else there? That's where it's all going down. Thanks so much, and let's meet again this time on Thursday, shall we? Well, until then, enjoy your week, and I will talk to you soon.